up everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chris, I'm a graphic designer based in Melbourne. I don't know how long I'm going to do that intro for, I don't even know what my intro is, but anyways, I have recently finished creating a vector art portrait of an octopus lady. I haven't given it a name, it isn't actually my artwork. I've just completely vectorized it. However, I had asked the artist if I could use it, and he said yes, and so I spent about 26 hours vectorizing it. I didn't expect it was going to take me this long, but it did, and I finished it, and it's up there with probably one of my most detailed pieces. So I'm going to be showing you guys the speed art in which, from start to finish, the process from my line work to the coloring in. And I'm going to just talk to you guys a little bit about not only the process, but a little bit of what's going on in my life and my channel and the direction, I guess. I'm just going to talk some shit over it while you watch it. So yeah, let's get into the computer, and I hope you enjoy. Alright, sweet. So basically the first thing in which I always do when I'm creating my vector art is trace basically around an image. Unfortunately, I'm not a skilled artist in the sense in which I can just freehand draw these amazing artworks, and so I do like to kind of pinch things that I do find interesting and trace them. The skill, however, comes in the coloring. So I like to and the line work as well, actually, to be honest. What I'm doing is I'm creating these lines in which appear to be going from very, very thin to the original stroke weight in which I've set them to thin again, creating this sense of depth. As you'll see now, actually, I then create black shapes. These aren't lines, they're colored in shapes to, again, just evoke a greater sense of depth in the areas in which I think need them. I haven't actually tried this style before, however, I do think that it actually does provide this cool kind of vibe, and I think I'll actually implement it a lot more. So as you can see around the mouth and that kind of stuff. Now, I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit about the process, although I don't want to harp too much on about my style and the method. I do want to talk to you guys a little bit about being a creator and what it's like being original with your content, and where the kind of line is when you're gaining inspiration and you're kind of going online to get ideas, and where do you stop with that kind of stuff, because it is easy to go online and have a look at what other people have come. The hard part is to be able to hold yourself back from actually just recreating that or taking that idea, but we'll touch on that in a second. The first thing in which I did when I was coloring in this was obviously color it in. I started from the bottom, and to be honest, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I didn't know how detailed I was gonna make it, but I just did it as a friend says, Liam, don't think, just do, and that's what I did. And I figured I'll come back and touch anything up. When I got to this stage in the tentacle, I realized that I was actually making it very detailed. As you can see, in each suction cup, I was almost kind of overlapping each shape. So I'd have a shape coming around and then go back into the line, but then off that shape I would have another shape, and it kind of just go down like a vortex to the bottom of each suction cup, both on the top and on the sides, as you can see. This took me fucking ages. I cannot believe I didn't know that it was going to happen. I just wanted to create the best artwork possible. Unfortunately, this artwork had a lot of suction cups. This piece, right, what I'm working on right now, took me 5 to 6 hours just to complete in itself. And by this point, when I finished it, I was like, God damn. As you can see, this is the actual artwork that I've been tracing. So I was like, God damn, like this is gonna take me forever. But I've been in situations like this before. Patience is something that you learn pretty quickly when you're creating this kind of stuff. And so I just kept at it. Over the course of about a weekend, I finished it, day in, day out. It took me about 26 hours, but anyways, that's just what you got to do. So I finished that tentacle, and then I got into the hair. Now I knew the hair was going to be very sleek and elegant and thin, just to evoke that kind of nature's hair does, obviously. And then I just left it at that, just to kind of remind me of how I wanted to tackle that aspect of the artwork when I was to then go to the top part. But I wanted to finish off the hand. I wanted to get into the skin color, because the skin color is what attracted me most to this original artwork. The combination between the blues, the teal, and the orange caught my eye instantly, and I was like, wow, like that is awesome. It's so abstract, it's so different, it contrasts so well, and I really wanted to give it a shot. So I was excited to actually get to that point, and give it a red hot crack. So I finished the hand and the neck, and then I came up to the face. Now the face was, to be honest, my favorite and most enjoyable aspect of creating this design. I think because it had very like curvy edges. You can see where a cheekbone kind of comes in, but then on the top part of a cheekbone there's a lot of highlights. That was exciting to play around with, that movement of light, and trying to convey that with the shapes in which I was trying to draw. So I finished that. I went over to her eye, which we've now moved on to, but her eye was very detailed as well. I think she's got a little bit of makeup going on. Well, the artist tried to represent that, and so I gave it a good crack to do the same. And then I moved over to the nose, which also had to be somewhat detailed, especially around the nostrils, and the mouth itself too. And then I came over to the right part of the face, which basically just combines to the other side of the tentacle, and because of that it's just very orange, so I used big colors. I didn't need to be very technical in that area. I just needed to convey that, you know, this part is basically orange. Anyhow, as you'll see me go through the rest of the tentacle now, but yeah, back touching on to what I was talking about before. I was thinking, like, is it okay for me to just take this artwork and then create my own kind of spin on it, but it's still very much his own artwork? And obviously I had his consent, and I asked him if it was allowed. Some people would say no, because they think that this is, original, and they don't want someone to go ahead and put their own spin on it and then post it almost as if it was theirs. However, other artists, and I feel like I'm one of these, like the idea of collaborating with other artists. If I was to draw something with pen and paper, and then to have someone who specializes in vector art come to me and say, I'd love to vectorize that, I'd feel almost honored, because they've come and they've picked this artwork, and they want to try to put their own spin on it, which is pretty cool. Where the line goes, however, and it's quite obvious really, is when you're going online and you're seeing an artwork, and you just completely rip that off the internet. You trace over it, or you even just kind of freehand it yourself whilst looking at another screen. I don't think that's okay, and that's mainly because people put so much time and effort into coming up with these ideas and creativity. It truly is limitless, and for someone to just kind of steal it and grab it is not the right thing. But in saying that, I think it is okay to see someone who does something that is better than you and try and imitate that. If you're doing it for a learning purpose and you're trying to create something because you know that you wouldn't be able to create that normally, then I think that is okay, as long as you completely tag or comment or acknowledge the original artist who created whatever you're trying to draw inspiration from. Coming towards the end of this artwork now, I finished the hair, very thin strokes. Around the outskirts, I put a little bit of kind of smoky stuff to create that eerie vibe, and then I kind of just added a few highlights, and then chucked my little tag like I'm fucking Pablo Picasso or some shit, I don't know. But yeah, that was basically my artwork from start to finish. I hope you enjoyed my commenting over the top, my talk, my spiel. I wanted to kind of just provide you guys with a little bit of value, and a bit of insight into my thought process. I didn't write a script, I just basically spoke shit. So if you take anything away from it, then so be it. If you have anything to say, hit me up. I do like this idea though of actually talking to you guys whilst you get to see the whole process, the whole 26 hours within 8 minutes of doing what I love doing. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, drop a comment, help me out to subscribe. Now I feel like a YouTuber. But yeah, it would help me out heaps, guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Yo.